is now past midnight. I will do one more update in this live stream before I head off to bed. Today we've been editing our video for Singapore front runners, taking the videos from our Sunset Way run and converting it into a social media format, vertical format, 9:16, that we'll post to Instagram. At the end of our last live stream, we had some issues figuring out the right placement. Well, we computed the magic numbers. We figured out that the top video clip, this part here, should be at position -1640. The middle clip should be at position 640, and the last one is at 1920. So this 1920, this is 640, and this is -640. The numbers look strange, but the reason is that the zero coordinate starts somewhere right in the middle, halfway point. This is 1920, this is 0, and that's -1920. Therefore, when we divide 1920 by 3, we get 640. Therefore, the numbers that we should use are 1920, 640, and -640. And this gives us the perfect 3-tier division. Notice also that we added the black bars. How do we get the black bars? Fortunately for Premiere, they have a effect called drop shadow. And we can do the black bar by setting the opacity to 100. The color is black. Direction is 180 degrees, meaning that it's downwards instead of slanting. Distance 80 is the height of the bar. And once we set this setting, we get a black bar. Perfect, that's what we want. The black bar is good because we will have 3 videos moving simultaneously. It will look quite disorienting. That's why I think the black bars will help. Now, it's quite hard to preview this in Premiere. What I did was that I exported the clip. I did a file export to Adobe Media Encoder. Then I ran Adobe Media Encoder to get the output. The file looks like this. Warm up. That particular 12-second segment, when exported to an MP4 file, looks like this. We start with the base video. Then the second part comes in, and the third part comes in. Right. Notice that all 3 videos are in perfect sync. We pan from left to center to right at exactly the same time. And this looks kind of smooth, kind of slick. This video clip is 12 seconds, but we will not take up all 12 seconds in the final video. Remember that we talked about the music. We have like 6 seconds of pre-chorus. Then Blackpink says, go. We need to squeeze this within the 6 seconds. We will have maybe 1 second to show an establishing shot of our runners at the MRT station, followed by 3 or 4 seconds of this warm-up, maybe 1 or 2 seconds of the our runners starting a run. Then as Blackpink says go, we will shift to the running sequence. Now let's look at the running sequence, the scenery part, what we will show when our runners are running. If we head back to this video, we will see a run A. And similar to the sequence, the warm-up sequence we saw earlier on, we have 3 tracks. Yeah, too bad it's not showing up. Premiere has got some troubles catching up with our video, but I've got a preview so you can see that in a while. We have 3 tracks showing simultaneously. It's quite identical to the warm-up sequence we've seen earlier on. It has run 1, run 2, and run 3. There it goes up. You notice the difference? There is more distortion here. Because in order to fit all the scenery into 1/3 of the screen, we have to apply more distortion so that everything it looks curved. The way we did the distortion, let me show you. Run 01, which is here. If I open run 01, you see that the FOV, the field of view control, is 84. Normally it's less than that. See, normally it's 57. Now we are doing a field of view control at 84. And this gives you a very distorted, wrapped kind of view. And this is good for us because we want to squash everything into 1/3 of the screen. When we have more distortion, we can squash things up, right? I think it kind of fits into the music also because that's the part of music after Blackpink says go, there's a lot of distorted bass. Well, we have distorted visuals also. So the distorted visuals will go quite well with the distorted bass. Notice also that our scenery is longer. Instead of just 12 seconds, we are now at 20 seconds. That's because we extended the rotation or the panning of the video. We start at left for 2 seconds, pan for 3 seconds to center, hold for 2 seconds, pan 3 seconds to the right, hold for 2 seconds, pan 3 seconds back to the center, and hold for 2 seconds before panning all the way back to the left in 3 seconds. Notice that it's doing one full revolution. It's left to center to right, then back to center and left. This means that our clip is 20 seconds long. If we go back to our run A, it's 20 seconds. Again, we will not show all 20 seconds. We will just speed up the video and we'll just show a snippet of it. I rendered this in Windows, in the Adobe Media Encoder using File Export to Adobe Media Encoder. Let me show you the result. The result is here. It's called Run A. This is what happens when we do the run sequence with 3 clips and play it back. Notice the heavy distortion. We need the distortion so that it can fit into 3 parts here. We started at left, now we are at center, and turning to right, we hold there, pan back to center, and then pan back to left. And again, everything is all synchronized. This whole sequence runs for 20 seconds, but we will compress it to within a few seconds. That means that it will look very fast. When a song says go, it will look as though we are flying through the roads because we are compressing the time very heavily. And that's the update I have for the videos. We've done previews. It looks good. We've done the warm up. The warm up looks nice. The run part also looks okay. Now we have to go through the pain of creating all these sequences. We run 1, 2, and 3. I also had to create 4, 5, and 6, 7. I'll add some variety. This distortion might not be good. Let's show some more scenery, more fiber and fiber maxing. Good for elderly people like me. In the next sequence, I will split into 2. This means we get more space for the sky, and that also means I will not require so much distortion. So things will look normal again. For example, at run, okay, we've taken 1, 2, and 3. We'll next we'll move on to 4 and 5 for next part of the video. 4 and 5, they look pretty normal. We'll use the same panning sequence, left to center to right to center to left. Notice that the distortion is minimal. This will allow us to fit 2 of these sequences. Run 4 will be on the bottom, run 5 will be on top. Then we cut to run 6 at the bottom and run 7 at the top. Now it's just 2 by 2 instead of 3 by 3. We're giving it more space to breathe. We are trying to disorient our viewer. Hopefully our viewer won't get too confused, and we can see more of the scenery with less distortion, right? That's what I plan to do next with these 4 clips, run 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is 4. Run 5 is quite similar, except it's closer to Gilmore, Holland Village. Okay. Run 6 is heading towards the Ulupana Canal. Yep, it's actually at the Ulupana Canal. Run 7 is along Ulupana Canal. This is with the spot where you see the monitor lizards and the otters. I will arrange 4, 5, 6, 7 in a 2 by 2 layout. What happens after this? We've seen enough scenery. So back to our engagement. Remember that the whole idea of putting the warm-up in front is that we want to show more faces, more people at the beginning of the video to increase our engagement. I have a hypothesis that people will be more interested if we see people and faces. Well, after this will be our run sequence. Will be a lot of scenery, right? We don't have much people here except for our friend Alfie. That's why after showing run 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, and 7, I plan to go back and show more people. We have clips of our friends during the run. Let me show you what I mean. If I click onto some of the clips later on. Okay, this thing is running very slowly. Okay, not yet. But very soon we'll see people, for example. Yeah, okay, these are not our people, but we'll see people. Yeah, these are our friends. I will zoom in so that we can see more of these people. In fact, if I just turn this around, the pan, we will see. Oops, my mistake. If I just click the clip and change the pan, there you go. We see our friend Jeremiah and some people behind. I will do a zoom in so we can see the faces. Yeah, there. We have the warm-up sequence, then we have the run sequence. Run sequence is full of greenery and fiber. Then we switch back to faces, back to engagement. How will we end this video? We don't have much time. It's only 30 seconds. And we end the video with this last part with the finish line. So that's where we have the cheering, and we can see the whole bunch of people here. And that's where we end the shot and the whole video. And that's the plan for our video. 30 seconds, not a lot of time. Everything has to be, every single second has to be carefully managed. We'll compress everything. And hopefully this looks good. Right, I'll update you again in the next live stream. See you in the next live stream. By the way, if you are following the thread of the videos and live stream, you can see the video description. I linked to the next video. So whenever you're watching a live stream, go to the description. There is a link to the next video. Just click next video and then you see all my live streams in the right sequence. Yep, thank you and see you in the next live stream.